The next leg of our trip was a bit of driving. It was time to leave the lush woods of Tennessee and Kentucky for the plains of southern Illinois and Missouri. We drove through St. Louis and got as close to the arch as we could with our Airstream. It was really cool to see. Back on the road now through the farmlands of Kansas and Iowa. We stopped to have lunch at a really pretty park in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. After a little time jumping on the rocks and enjoying the waterfalls, it was back on the highway across almost the entire state of South Dakota. Our destination was Badlands National Park.
I left my braided tag with the snow. Oh, well, you know, mister, whoever you are, I'm no idea who you are.
We had no idea what to expect from this park, but it turned out to be my favorite spot on our trip. There were bison roaming wild, and we all loved watching the prairie dogs run around like crazies. The bison had the most picture-perfect setting.
Look at all that slobber coming out of his mouth.
What an amazing animal. We were having trouble figuring out why they called this national park the Badlands. The drive through more of the park slowly revealed why. There was less and less green grass prairies. Soon jagged peaks emerged. They looked like giant termite mounds. Until there was no green left, only rocky mounds covered in mud. We really wanted to get out and explore this strange landscape. It had been raining for a few days, so everywhere we walked was really muddy. It felt like we were on another planet. A planet of mostly mud. Our boots were covered in mud, and I loved it.
Tell me, where are we?
We're in Badlands National Park.
What do you think about it?
It's really, really fun.
What's the mud feel like? You like it?
Yeah. Some of the mud was dry and brittle, and some could be molded like clay. Mom, Dad, and Ezra like to take the more rocky paths, but I like stomping in the sticky muck.
End of trail, yippee!
The landscape seemed to go on forever. It was like we had a whole planet all to ourselves. After exploring Badlands, we went to a very different destination in South Dakota, Wall Drug. There were a lot of people there and a lot of odd shops. They had a jackalope to ride and a giant ape that played piano for 50 cents.
What do you think it was going to do?
We ate some donuts and took some pictures before we left. We drove through some small towns and into the forest for our next stop. Can you guess what it was? Mount Rushmore!
Oh my.
George Washington, Andrew Jackson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. What a great piece of American history. It was very interesting being here after just visiting Stone Mountain, Georgia, because it was the same artist that designed both. Our family really loved seeing so many states and enjoyed all the great spots in South Dakota. I sure will miss all that mud in Badlands, but I'm really excited for our next stop, Glacier National Park in Montana.